Good evening. It's Facebook Love number 271. It's been a little bit since I was on. I've been trying every day almost, and it's just been a little hectic. What I've had on my mind lately is voting rights, and how do we keep them and grow them, and how do we fight the movement to make it hard for people to vote. One thing you can do is encourage everyone you know to register and not to smash it up against the next election, but to do it now. Just do it now. Another thing is to stay in touch with your senators and your representatives and make sure that they know that you care. So I have a couple poems to read because we've had the 1 year anniversary of President Biden being inaugurated and the 1 year anniversary of Amanda Gorman's beautiful poem that she wrote for that occasion. I'd like to read that, and then I have another piece that is titled A New National Anthem. First, Amanda Gorman's poem titled The Hill We Climb. When the day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace, and the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country and a time where a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine. But that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, that we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our time, to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in the bridges we've made. That is the promise to glade the hill we climb, if only we dare. It's because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the past we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded, but while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith, we trust. For while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is the era of just redemption we feared at its inception. We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe, now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burdens, but one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with. Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west. We will rise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked South. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover. And every known nook of our nation and every corner called our country, our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge, battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there was always light. If only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. I've said it before, I feel like a cork. I sink down, I definitely do. The waves come and the swirly pools that suck me under, and I get very worried and nervous and anxious. I'm not some Pollyanna. But when I read that poem, it really makes me realize that I'm made of pretty strong stuff, and that when I need to, I'll call upon that metal. And I call upon all of you. I have another one for you. I think it's kind of long as well. Nope, not so bad. This one by Limon is called A New National Anthem. The truth is, I've never cared for the national anthem. If you think about it, it's not a good song. Too high for most of us, with the rocket's red glare, and then there are the bombs. Always, always, there is war and bombs. Once, I sang it at homecoming and threw even the tenacious high school band off key. But the song didn't mean anything, just a call to the field, something to get through before the pummeling of youth. And what of the stanzas we never sing? The third, that mentions no refuge, could save the hireling and the slave. Perhaps the truth is, every song of this country had an unsung third stanza, something brutal snaking underneath us as we blindly sing the high notes with a beer sloshing in the stands, hoping our team wins. Don't get me wrong. I do like the flag, how it undulates in the wind like water. Elemental, and best when it's humbled, brought to its knees, clung to by someone who has lost everything. When it's not a weapon, when it flickers, when it folds up so perfectly you can keep it until it's needed, until you can love it again, until the song in your mouth feels like sustenance. A song where the notes are sung by even the ageless woods, the short grass plains, the red river gorge, the fistful of land left unpoisoned. That song that's our birthright, that's sung in silence when it's too hard to go on, that sounds like someone's rough fingers weaving into another's, that sounds like a match being lit in an endless cave. The song that says, my bones are your bones, and your bones are my bones. Isn't that enough? A new national anthem by Limon from 2018. Two very new poems that reflect where we've been, where the whole world really is these days. It's not just America struggling to maintain a sense of a real democratic republic. I don't give up hope, and I keep singing. This is Facebook Love. I'll see you again.